Australia, we need to have a chat. We've got a problem. If you are renovating, building, or designing a new home, planning your electrical infrastructure is key to ensuring the ease of installation of battery products, of solar products, of electric vehicles, of vehicle to grid, of everything that comes with getting your home more efficient, more cost effective. And this discussion today is about how to do that properly and easily to plan for the future. G'day, I'm Eddie Springer from Springer Solar. Today we're going to look at the good, the bad, the ugly of switchboards, of roof design, and we're actually going to discuss what would make a good design for a new build and a new property or a renovation to allow for the installation of new technology. So I want to show you some examples of some poor planned switchboards within a residential home that really doesn't allow for access to that equipment to install new cabling, new wiring, and it also makes it, not impossible, just more difficult and more costly to install a solar inverter, a solar battery, an EV charger, electric vehicle, solar metering. All of these things require good access and switchboards in locations that allow us to get to them. So here I have some examples. Beautiful new home, new renovation, and we've got a switchboard on the edge of a hallway within the middle of the property, no access to an external wall, getting equipment to that, wiring our solar inverter to that, having a location for that inverter, it just becomes problematic. We really want to start seeing switchboards planned in locations that allow batteries, EV chargers, solar inverters to be installed. So on an external wall in the property, near a storage or utility space, not under stairs, not in hallways, not in the back of pantries, ideally in the garage, in a utility space, in the basement that allows cabling to that switchboard. So there's an example there. We've got another few examples here as well. So next to staircase, this would be okay if that wall was back to back to a garage, but in this case it wasn't. So back to back, I just mean on the reverse side of that wall, we've got the garage. We can then access that board and get to it for our EV charging and solar equipment. But that switchboard, if it's in an internal wall where the garage is not on the other side, accessing that for cabling becomes really difficult. One benefit of this board is lots of spare capacity, okay? Too often we go to switchboards now where the boards are absolutely full. This guy here, not much spare capacity. At least this board's got some spare capacity in it to allow us to install new equipment. So if you are building a new home, if you are renovating and you've got your electrician there, ensure that they are oversizing that switchboard. They're providing spare capacity or spare poles on the DIN rail to allow for that new equipment to be installed. A couple more photos. A little bit of spare capacity in this board, but it was just in a terrible location, Mops and brooms there indicate to me that this is in the back of a pantry, the back of a linen cupboard, real nightmare to be able to get to and to install our equipment on. Another one, absolutely chockers. We've got another module beside it here that would be full as well. EV charger or car charger has been added on down the bottom. We need additional capacity in there. We need to plan for the future. Okay, so we'll move on to another photo, into a pantry. Really difficult access, a little bit of spare capacity in there, but that's in the center of the house. We really want to see that moved or installed in a location that gives us better access. Another consideration is access to the internet. A lot of the equipment we're installing, the solar metering, smart switches, smart ports, smart inverters, smart vehicle control, we want internet at that location. Ideally, gold standard is a LAN cable, a hardwired connection back to your modem, router or switch, or a Wi-Fi connection, as our second best. But ensuring that on this renovation, on this new build, that you are getting hardwired internet connections to your switchboard or next to your switchboard to allow for those new devices, the internet of everything that we want to install, we want to be able to control. We want the battery system to be able to talk to the vehicle, to talk to the vehicle charger. We want to be able to see it in real time on our phone. We want to be able to turn things on and off to manage and control that energy usage. All of these things I'm talking about adds up to more savings for you, easier and simpler installation cost, a much more streamlined system, and a much neater and tidier installation, much neater and tidier home that allows you to control your usage and control your power needs for your equipment. So the key takeaway from this is if you are designing a new home or renovating your home, that switchboard location is critical. Our preferred location for solar equipment and battery equipment is in the garage. If you have an attached garage under the roof of your home, it's not an external carport. If you have a garage, that switchboard should be in there. Larger homes, you may have subboards and other things, but that main switchboard or the main distribution board should be in the garage, subboards hung off that in different locations. All right, now let's talk roof design. Now, these are some images of what we don't want to do. Now, a lot of these are from overseas, but complex roof design for your property will mean less solar, less optimum solar, and higher system costs, and a harder system design. You know, most of our solar inverters have a limited number of MPPTs, so trackers that we can put solar panels on different azimuths. So by having these really complex roof designs, really strains or constrains our ability to design a large scale, high-performing solar system for your property. So we don't want every roof to look the same, one big roof facing north, but we really should be looking to reduce those hips and gables and different facets on the roof to ensure that we can maximize our solar energy system size and maximize that performance and yield. So when you're talking to your architect, when you're talking to your builder, let's really try and simplify the roof a little bit to ensure we can get good quality solar yield from that roof. Or if we do have a complex roof, setting aside an area on that roof to ensure we can get a big solar system in one area, and then we can have the front of the house or the property aesthetically designed to ensure we're still getting what we want, but we still have one large area for our solar system. Planning for electric vehicles, planning for the electrification of everything means that we need high-performing, large yield solar systems on every roof in Australia. So I hope you've learned something today about the design of your property to ensure we can incorporate solar, batteries, and EV charging. You know, feel free to use these tips and tricks, send it to your architect, send it to your builder, talk to your electrician about these locations of this equipment and where these systems are going to be installed. You know, we spend so much time talking about colors and tiles and bench tops. We need to start talking about electricity and electrical infrastructure in the home and how to incorporate that into the design and doing it smartly and more cost effectively. I'm Eddie Springer, Springer Solar. If you've got a new home or property or new renovation you want to discuss, feel free to send us those plans. We love talking solar. We love talking the electrification of new properties. Reach out to us, let us help you with your design. Please like, subscribe, access our channels, get in touch with us. We want to engage with you. We want to start the conversation. See you next time.